In today's episode of The Founder Ride, Randy talks about creating a culture of entrepreneurism in your business.
Thank you for listening to an episode of The Founder Ride. Today, we're going to talk about the culture of entrepreneurism. And why we're going to talk about this? Because most every company that started and growing is entrepreneurial, right? The entrepreneur, by definition, starts it. They surround themselves with people who want to be in an entrepreneurial journey, want to be in an entrepreneurial ride. The goal, of course, is to grow the business, and if you're doing all the right things from a strategy perspective, from a financing the growth perspective, really strong core values, you're going to grow. And at some point in time, you're going to have to hire people, new leaders in your company every different cycle of growth. And so the risk with that, and it's really, you have to do it because people who got you to where you are won't get you to where you want to go. So you're going to have to bring new people in. The risk in doing that, you want to make sure that you keep your culture of entrepreneurism. You keep the company very entrepreneurial. Those companies are the best companies, and people want to be a part for that ride. So as you keep changing your leadership team over the course of 20 or 30 years, you want to bring people on board who respect and understand and promote that culture of entrepreneurism. Interesting, when I was at Raymond James, I left my old broker dealer, went to Raymond James in 1999. Part of the reason why I went is Tom James was still running the business, and he was very entrepreneurial. And Raymond James was a fabulous company. I enjoyed it. I was there 22 years. In 2012, Tom James retired, became chairman of the board, and they brought in professional management. Good guys, great people, et cetera, but definitely not entrepreneurial. And it took about 2 or 3 years where we could really feel that the business had changed, become very professionally run, lost that entrepreneurial edge. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if it's what you want, it's what you want. My view, it changed so much that it was no longer a fit for me. So I went to Fidelity as a custodian, which is still family owned and very entrepreneurial. And you can just tell, there's a reason why Fidelity is one of the biggest custodians in the world. So Raymond James is still a great company. It's not a slam on them. They've done a great job. They're just a different business than they used to be because they're professionally run. So I think the best companies, the companies that have the most brand recognition and the most sought after products are very entrepreneurial. Think Elon Musk and Tesla. Frankly, everything Elon Musk touches is very entrepreneurial and has a bit of attitude with it. So as you're growing your company, it's important for you, particularly if you're involved, to keep the entrepreneurial vibe and pass it on to the next set of leaders. And it comes from you as the leader, as an entrepreneur, when you sell the business. And for the record, in my experience, most buyers, they want to continue the entrepreneurial field because they know those businesses grow well. So it's a difficult topic. It's hard to do. There's no book on how to do it. There's no right, one size fits all either. It's more of a culture shift, and it's making sure that you're going to maintain the entrepreneurial bent. Feel free to call me if you want. I'd love to talk about it. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Founder Ride.
Content herein is produced by Gerber Entrepreneur LLC, aka Founder Farm, another firm owned by Randy Gerber that is a private community for entrepreneurs. Services provided by Founder Farm are separate from the services rendered by Gerber LLC and are rendered pursuant to a separate contract. Clients of Gerber LLC are under no obligation to engage with Founder Farm. Founder Farm does not render investment advisory services.